Next up, from Germany, from Adsquare, the CEO and co-founder, please welcome Tom Laband to the stage, please. Welcome, Tom. Thank you. Let's click it right there.
So, hi. Does this work?
Wait, stop the clock. Try again, Tom.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can now.
Perfect. My name is Tom. I'm CEO of Adsquare. I'm really happy to be here, and I'm going to show you what we do at Adsquare today. So Adsquare is a mobile audience targeting company, and we operate mainly in three different major trends. One is programmatic. We all know about this, so advertising is fully automated in the future. And second is data, so actually advertisers want to target people, not channels. Then the third major trend is mobile. So media time spent happens on mobile devices. This is the major shift that is actually taking place out there. You probably have read the numbers of Facebook last week. 73% of all ad revenues from Facebook are shown on mobile devices. So that is actually the biggest shift out there. And there is a challenge with that. So mobile internet usage, and you probably know this as well, mainly happens in apps. These are numbers that come from Nielsen, and they show that more than 80% of mobile internet consumption happens in apps. And there's a problem with that. And that is, and these numbers, or this graphic comes from IAB, that cookies don't work in an app environment. So actually, there is no good approach that can target consumers on mobile devices. So there's a lack of data on mobile. All the data that sits in DMPs is on cookies, and that doesn't really help us in targeting mobile consumers. So actually, when we founded the company, we actually cared about making an approach that is scalable towards targeting consumers on mobile devices. And our approach is mainly built around location. So for us, location is a really, really good indicator to describe people's personal interests, preferences, and intentions. So actually, our assumption is that where people go and when they go there, are one of the most powerful indicators of their personal interests, preferences, and intentions. So what have we done? The last 2.5 years, we have mapped the world into squares, and these are 50 times 50 meter squares. And we see them here on a nice little picture. And on these tiles, we collect lots of different data. So for example, we collect household data that comes from companies like Axiom, Experian, and other companies. We collect data that comes from points of interest sources. So for example, TomTom, Nokia here, OpenStreetMap. We have retail data, we have purchase data, we have event data, and we have weather data. And all that data gives us an idea of the current local context of a tile. Yeah? And there is even dynamic data in there. So for example, imagine event data. So we have a global event database that tells us the current local context of events. And certainly this event right now has also a certain context. And we can make use of that, context. And we have this data now in Western Europe, so we have mapped the world into these 50 times 50 meter squares. And we have all that data, that local contextual data that sits on top of a location in our platform. So what we do then as a second step, we integrate this data into ad exchanges. And we constantly see, with a silent bidder, we constantly see ad requests coming in that contain let long. And what we do with that data, we map this data to our squares, to the 50 times 50 meter squares that we have. And thereby, we actually offer two different targeting products. One, we call that Audiences Live. What we do there is we look at the bid stream, we see in the bid request the let long, and we map that let long from a user to our square structure, and thereby derive a segment. So for example, you can target business travelers that sit at airports, and certainly the let long of an airport qualifies them as business travelers because they are located at an airport. And actually, it's about targeting the current local context of an anonymous user. The second product is not so location-centric. It's more user-centric. So the second product that we have is Audiences 360. It's pretty similar to the Audience Live product. What we do there is we actually save the location context history of users over time on a device identifier. So meaning we save this on an IDFA or Google Advertising ID for retargeting purposes. And with that data also, advertisers can come to us if they have, for example, consumers that have interacted with their campaign and they have IDFA or Google advertising IDs, they come to us, and even if they would have not used our data, they can come to us and ask us for audience insights based on that data, and we could offer them lookalikes for lookalike modeling. And this all is summarized in one short video that I want to show you right now.
The world is going mobile, and smartphones are the most personal devices connecting consumers wherever they are, wherever they go. Just think about the early morning business traveler at the airport, the student on campus at lunchtime, or the evening shopper at the department store. But how can you as an advertiser benefit from this? How can you reach your target audience in the right context to make your ads more relevant? Introducing Adsquare, Europe's first independent platform for mobile audience targeting. At Adsquare, we believe that where people go and when they go there are the most powerful indicators of their personal interests, preferences, and intentions. With our technology, we build the bridge between real-world consumer behavior and digital advertising. Adsquare helps you to reach your target audience in the most effective way and create engagement. Our platform takes the current location of an anonymous user, maps it to our Square structure, and analyzes the local context in real time. What kinds of households are located in this area? Is there any relevant point of interest in this square? How about specific retailers or businesses nearby? To go even further, we use dynamic information, such as events or the current weather. Think about a sports stadium and how to reach very different audiences during a football match or a rock concert. Adsquare processes billions of data points, millions of location profiles, and uses machine learning algorithms to improve your results with every campaign. All of this while being 100% compliant with Europe's highest privacy standards. Whether you're a local retailer or an international branding advertiser, talk to us today about our targeting products, our premium network partners, and how you can be one step ahead of your competition. Unlock the power of location with Adsquare.
Thank you very much indeed. Tom.
And that was it.
Adsquare.
Thank you.
Brilliant. I'll have to get the video a bit earlier next time. But hey, this is targeting a mobile based on location and time. Questions, please. Any at all, or was it crystal clear?
No questions.
We got one there.
One question.
Thank you very much.
From Turn.
Out of curiosity, how do you understand the context around that particular location? What's the input into figuring out this is an airport versus a hotel versus a shopping center?
It's always a latitude, longitude.
Well, so that's the signal that's a lookup into your database, but what populated your database? So if this store closes tomorrow and a new one opens up, like how are you keeping up to date?
We get that data via APIs from partners. So for example, TomTom has an API, and we get that data from TomTom, and they give us lat long, for example, on POI data.
Good question. Any more? Yeah, we got one from, got one from the audience. Wow, this is progressive.
I understand that there's an individual that is anonymous standpoint. Is this really a different type of panel? I mean, where does the individual information come from tied to a specific device ID?
Where does the individual information come from?
You mentioned there's a business traveler at the airport at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm in many airports as a business traveler is, but there's also a lot of non-business travelers.
Okay, yeah, well, good question. With our Audience 360 product, we save local contextual information over time. So we collect lots of data. And of course, you're very much right. On an airport, there's not only business travelers. There are also cleaning people. But for example, if we take lots of occasions, and a business traveler, for example, would have to qualify for such a segment if we have seen him on various different airports. Cleaning personnel, for example, would not show up at different airports. And with the 360 product, we save local contextual information over and over again. So on an average, we see per user more than 10 locations per month. And we save all that information over time and build up these profiles.
Thank you, Tom from Adsquare. That's all we've got time for. Thank you. Big hand.